Welcome to Marigo TV, Marigo Morning Dew. Today is Monday, and hopefully, as usual, as we already know, when it's Monday, we talk about health issues, health matters, how we, the individual, will be able to live or stay healthy, so as not to die young or anything else. So today, too, as usual, as you know, I have my beautiful ladies in the studio. Today, too, we are coming to talk about something different, and get close to your TV set, get close to your phone, go to Facebook, search Marigo TV, Marego TV, and then whatever we are discussing, you can bring your messages or ask any question that you wish to ask on this number 0539689986, 0539689986. You can send your comments, your questions, and whatever, and they'll be able to answer you. My name is Sylvester Tete. I'll not waste my time. Let me introduce my guest and then welcome them to a new week. Ladies, you are welcome.
Thank you.
And how are you doing?
You're very well.
Nice one. Is that your favorite color? Is that your favorite color? What's your favorite color?
Something like purple.
Purple. Something like purple, but not purple. Anything purple. Madam Louisa, what's your favorite color?
Green.
Green. Okay. Yes. Okay. Madam Marion, let's start with the discussion. What do we mean by hMPV? hMPV. What is it about? Someone may say it's an abbreviation, but what is hMPV?
Okay, I think it's been making waves in the news recently. So it's good for us to talk about it so that people understand what it really is about. So hMPV is a short form of the human metapneumovirus.
Human
Metapneumovirus.
Metapneumovirus.
Like we say pneumonia. So pneumo.
Metapneumo.
So
okay.
Human metapneumovirus. So that's hMPV.
Okay.
Yes. So it's been in a couple of countries recently, like China, in the UK, and other places. So this virus is almost like a flu. You can't really distinguish between this virus and a flu because the symptoms are really alike. So that's why people.
Okay, so I want you to match your voice. Yes.
Okay, so that's why people tend to ask, is it really different from COVID? Or is it different from a common cold? Because it has the same symptoms, the same characteristics. So I think we will look at the causes, we will look at the symptoms and signs, and then we can understand it better. But it's just a virus that causes an upper respiratory tract infection. So the respiratory tract, we have both upper and lower. As much as it may also cause lower, but it's usually related to the upper respiratory tract.
It has been in existence for how many months or years now?
So it's been in the news recently, but it's been there since 2001. It was discovered, it was discovered in 2001. But scientists are also saying that even before 2001, it was already in existence. It was just not discovered. But yes, people had it and then were treated and they didn't even know this is what it was. But it was discovered, given a name by 2001.
Is it a dangerous virus?
Okay, so when we are comparing it to COVID, no. Usually hMPV may resolve on its own. Sometimes you may not even know. You may think it's a common cold, and then maybe you may just walk to the pharmacy, get some pain reliefs, and then in a few days you are fine. So usually it resolves on its own. As much as sometimes you may have to go to the hospital, but it's usually not detected as it is. And yes, COVID is more severe than this virus.
Okay. Madam Louisa, when and how did we start this kind of hMPV?
So just as I said, it's been in existence for a number of years now. That's 2001.
Okay.
So that's about 24 years.
4 years.
Yes. But then it's just been seen as normal flu or cold until recently, when it started making waves in China. And I think the fear of it was because COVID started in China. So once this thing also made waves in China, everybody got scared.
Okay.
Right. Yes, which is quite okay. At least it helps us to take precaution, but then it's not as deadly as COVID. But we still need to, talk about it and then take precautionary measures so that we don't get to that point where it becomes very severe. Right. Yeah. So it's been in existence for a while now, and it's moved from China to other countries, like Europe, parts of Europe, and so the problem is when it's spreading, it can cause issues.
Okay.
The reason we want to talk about it so that we can all curb it, right, from spreading, because if I have it and I'm spreading it to you, perhaps your immune system is not as strong as it should be, so it can cause issues, right? So the reason we want to talk about it, but it's been in the system for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
How can one get this virus?
So just like flu and just like COVID, right? When you have contact with people who have had the virus, and then, like we always said with COVID, avoid touching your face, your nose, all those things, because it's a virus. So when I cough, if I have it and then I cough out into the air, the virus is out there in the air. The next person can contract it. So these are some of the ways you can contract it. If I touch a surface that has been contaminated with the virus, it's possible to also get the virus. If I'm touching fluids of people who have gotten it, it's possible to get the virus. So just like the COVID, the transmission is about the same. Yeah. So it's just one person to the other.
Madam Marion, what's the difference between this virus and then coronavirus? Let's look at the difference. How does this affect the immune system in terms of, and then compare it to the coronavirus? Let's compare the two. What are the differences?
Okay, so I think COVID is more severe, as Louisa said. COVID is more severe. And then the fear also came about because this thing also started from China. We recently heard about it in China. So people begin to ask, is it the same as COVID? But no, COVID is more severe. But the signs and symptoms are alike with COVID. You can't really distinguish when it comes to that. You begin to have a cold, just like a common cold, a cough, runny nose or a blocked nose, all these symptoms just like COVID. But then you are able to really tell, is this a COVID when you run a test? And then the severity too with the symptoms. Usually, like I said previously, it may resolve on its own, but COVID, no. Most of the time you have to go to the hospital, get tested and get treated. Yes, so I think basically that's the difference. But when it comes to the signs and symptoms, you can't really tell. You can't it's almost the same. Yeah.
So it means that COVID is severe than this.
Yes.
Wow. But do we have any dead cases?
Okay, so WHO is working on that, but so far I cannot really tell if deaths have been recorded. But you see, when it comes to COVID, we're tracking all these confirmed and suspected cases. But with the hMPV, we know we can have it under control because, like we said, it's been in existence for a very long time. And usually, scientists are also saying that when you have the infection for the first time, you build some sort of immunity as much as you can get it for the second time, but then your infection rate is quite low and the severity is also quite low. Yes.
Let me ask this question to both of you. Why this virus has started from China? Why? If I may ask you, what is the issue? What is bringing about all these things? Whatever virus from here, does it mean that the kind of environment or the world that we live in, there are a lot of viruses that are hidden. There are a lot of diseases that are hidden. Can you tell us something about that, please? Because it seems we are not comfortable living on Earth anymore.
Okay, with the hMPV, we are really looking at...
I'm not even talking about hMPV alone, but coronavirus, Ebola.
But when we are looking at the difference, you see, the hMPV, we are saying it's like a common cold. So we are really looking at the weather.
Okay.
So we are saying that usually during cold seasons, or let me say winter, is quite common, because when it's cold everybody is indoors.
Okay.
So the contact with people is quite close. Usually you are indoor with your family.
Yeah.
When it's when it's hot, people go out and try to get air. But when the weather is cold, everybody is in an enclosed space. Let me put it that way. So I would say the hMPV is more about the weather, but COVID is not really about that. And these are two different viruses. They don't belong to the same group. And we also know that viruses evolve. Right from our basic school days, we're taught that viruses, they change, they evolve. So as much as we have COVID, viruses tend to change their form, they tend to evolve. And then we begin to have multiple and then different diseases as well. Yeah, I think that's what I can say about
Now,
that.
Louisa, can you add something? It seems we are living with this kind of viruses on this earth. It seems we are not
Yes.
comfortable.
Well, where else can we live if not on Earth? But I would say that these things have been in existence for a while. Like Marian said in the beginning, before 2001, scientists believed that this thing has been there. It was just discovered new. So everything that is happening, like all the diseases that are coming up and all that, I think somehow they have been there. But scientists were not able to discover them in the past. So now scientists are working very hard day and night to discover what is this? What is it doing to us? Why is this? How does it work? All those things. So these things have been there, but we are now becoming more aware of them. And because we are now becoming more aware of them, we have to also take the precautionary measures, because systems have also changed.
Yeah.
Back in the day, lands were, conserved. Things were, let me say, a little bit in order, right? But now everything is being industrialized.
Yeah.
So all these things are affecting our existence. Yeah, so that's how come these things are now also coming up. Industrialization, economic development, climate change.
Is that the only thing? Because most people think that those especially close to animals, those animals, sometimes we get those kind of viruses from them.
Yeah, we have viruses.
Because there were issues concerning coronavirus, that even HIVs, even other viruses that affect the whole world. Some people say whatever comes out or everything, like, we have stories behind it. People say it's from animals. People say human females having sex with animals and then got infected here and there. So a lot of issues concerning this kind of viruses. And so it's like, I'm seeing it that we are not safe. We are not safe.
Well, we are not safe, but what can we do?
Okay.
So the little we can do is
Okay.
what we want to do.
All right. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Madam Maria, okay, you let me go to Madam Louisa. Let's look at the signs and symptoms of this hMPV. What are the signs and symptoms?
So as Marianne rightly said in the beginning, it's just like common cold.
Common cold.
Yes, so you would have running nose,
Okay.
you may have some cough,
Okay.
you feel some fever, you feel feverish, some headaches, and all of those things. So just as when you have a cold, you're feeling malaise, but you can't really tell. That's about how this also feels like.
Okay.
So until you've gone to the hospital and you've been tested,
Yeah.
these are some of the things that you would experience in the
Okay.
beginning when you have the virus.
Okay. Should you experience it to a certain stage before maybe you may say have to go to the hospital, or immediately there is an early sign of this is you have to go to the hospital?
So you see, cold is actually caused by viruses.
Okay.
You won't be able to know whether it's the normal common cold
Okay.
or it's the hMPV.
Okay.
So in the beginning, you can have some personal care in the house.
Okay.
Some people would will go to the pharmacy
Yeah.
and get some over-the-counter medicines. Or you can do hydration, take more fluids,
Okay.
try and keep yourself going.
Okay.
But after a while, if you feel like, or if you realize this thing has persisted for long, definitely you should go to the hospital.
Okay. Mario, let me ask you this question. Do viruses, do they work? Do they have, I don't know how to put it, but do they work together? Coronavirus, hMPV virus, whatever virus, are they the same? Even though they come in different modes, but in terms of it's affecting our immune system, does it affect the same things within us? If I may ask. You are comparing coronavirus to whatever we are talking about here. Coronavirus, the same thing.
Yeah. So these viruses, they don't even belong to the same family. I think previously I said viruses, they evolve, they change. That's what we've discovered. But for hMPV, usually belongs to the same group that causes pneumonia and other things. But it's not in the same family with COVID and no. But as much as these symptoms are similar, when we look at so many diseases, we have certain things that are in common. You have the same signs and symptoms.
Yeah.
But once you come to the facility and we begin to run tests, you realize that we are looking at a different thing.
Yeah.
So usually, like Louisa said, hMPV, usually when you have a cold, you won't quickly run to the hospital. You would want to do something on your own at home. Maybe manage the pain. If you have a runny nose, you just manage it. So we say that usually the signs and symptoms begin to show within 4 to 6 days. That's the incubation period, between 4 to 6 days. But you realize after like 3 days, you're not getting better. It's not getting any better. And like I said, sometimes it resolves on its own. Within a week, you feel okay, and then you move. Even people who had COVID, some people even say they had issues like that. But hMPV is quite less severe, so it may resolve on its own. If it doesn't, we would advise that you visit a healthcare provider.
Okay.
Usually it's because of our African setting, but when you go to Europe, no matter what happens, even when you have a headache, you see your GP. But in Africa, it's not like that. You always want to do something on your own before you go to the hospital. But for this one, since we are in times like this, we advise that any little changes you begin to see, just go to the hospital.
Okay. How is it treated?
So this one, I would say supportive care. We don't have any vaccine for hMPV yet.
Wow.
So, and we don't really have any definite treatment. You see, when COVID came, it took time for us to put things together and then have a definite treatment. Or if you are dealing with a bacteria, we go for antibiotics. But in this case, we don't have a vaccine, we don't have a definite treatment plan yet. So it's usually supportive. So when you come, we manage the pain, we relieve you, your runny nose, and then you'll get better, yes. But then, let's say, in people with compromised situations, like people who have HIV, cancer, and those things, they are the ones who begin to experience the severe form of it. So when it happens that way, that means we would have to increase the treatment a bit. But in all, you will definitely be fine.
Wow. Okay. I have a message from Odoko Cecilia. Is there any treatment, and what should be the first point of contact if someone have that virus?
So, like I said, it's as much as the signs and symptoms is just like COVID. You see, when COVID was there, we were so much educated that now you could easily tell that this person has COVID.
Yeah.
But in this case, we will say that put on your nose mask so you know someone that has a common cold. Don't have direct contact with the person. When you put on your nose mask, don't touch surfaces which has been contaminated. You live with someone who has a cold. So I think we can start from there. You have a friend who has a cold. Don't have direct contact, touch contaminated surfaces. No. Put on a nose mask, wash your hands frequently, just as we did for the COVID. So I think these are some of the precautionary measures we can take.
Okay. Yeah. Mona Luisa, can you add some of the precautionary measures and what should we do to protect ourselves?
Yes, so we've already said that, and I'll just reiterate it.
Yeah.
And I think that since we all became comfortable with COVID, we've stopped a lot of things.
Are you sure we are comfortable?
Yes, I think we've stopped a lot of things.
Are you sure?
That's my opinion.
That's true. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Oh yeah, but it's true. Yeah, we are okay.
People don't wash their hands as often as we used to when COVID was,
Yes.
there. People don't use sanitizers as we used to. People don't wear nose masks.
And are you sure we still have sanitizers in the system?
We do.
Okay.
We do.
Okay.
People don't wear nose masks as often as we used to when COVID was there. Someone would be in the public bus.
Yeah.
The person has a cough, has a cold.
I have that issue, so I have that issue.
Yet the person is not wearing a mask. Because even normal cold, like the common cold, it easily gets transmitted. And it's uncomfortable. So if you are having cold and you don't even know whether it's the hMPV or even coronavirus, the least you can do is to wear a nose mask if you have to go out.
Yeah.
As much as possible, just avoid going to places where you would be with people or interact with people so that you don't transmit it to the next person. Right? So we should go back to the things we used to do when COVID was in existence or when we thought COVID was going to kill all of us. Let's go back to wearing our nose mask. If you are having a common cold or you're having any symptom that's, you know that the next person can easily contract this, let's protect the next person. Wear a nose mask, avoid going into public places or crowded places. Let's wash our hands as often as possible. I think it is very important that everybody carries sanitizer on them again. Some people have stopped it. They've stopped using sanitizer. At least it helped a lot of people.
Maybe our perception is there is no more corona in the system.
Corona may not be with us as we thought or as it was, but it's still there. It is still there. Go to the hospitals, they are still recording cases of coronavirus. And if it's not coronavirus, just as Marianne said, viruses are evolving. You know, this coronavirus, it started with SARS, then we moved on to the MERS before we realized there was COVID. So these viruses are evolving and then reappearing in different ways. So let's protect ourselves. Let's act like COVID is still there, even if we don't think it is there, because the truth is it's still there. It's just been able to, we've been able to manage it. We've been able to manage. There's a vaccine and all those things, which a lot of people took. So it's helping. But let's go back to the days we were very careful and cautious about our health.
All right. Nene Akwe Agbasi says keep it active, and then Amin Celestine Tina Gali says my motivation. Trazy Sticks is 100% sure, and so on and so forth. But Madam Marian, can you also give us something? What should we do to prevent this virus that we are talking about, aside what Madam Louisa also gave to us?
Okay, so I think just as we did for COVID, so I think everybody should have it at the back of their mind that since we are dealing with the virus, let's move like we did with COVID. So as we were washing our hands frequently, personal hygiene, wearing masks, and trying to avoid crowded places and all of that, I think we can equally do same for this as well.
So you were saying this virus have no vaccine, right?
No, there's no vaccine.
There's no vaccine.
No.
Wow. Okay.
And I'll also add again, eat well.
We should eat well.
Yes, eat well.
We should check our balanced diet.
Check your diet.
Balanced diet.
Yes, check your diet.
Should we be eating kinky and pepper each and every day?
Oh, you can eat kinky with pepper and some fish.
Monday to Friday.
But not every day. I mean, let there be variety.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
Perfect.
And let's limit the processed food, the ultra processed foods that we eat. Yes. So eating well builds your immune system so that you can fight some of these infections.
Okay. We should eat well and drink well, right?
Yes.
Drink water.
Drink
water.
Yes. Keep yourself hydrated.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Any greetings to those watching you? We are wrapping up. We are wrapping up. Madam Louisa. Any greetings to your friends, your lovely ones, your colleagues, those watching you?
So thank you to all the viewers of Marigo TV for always staying tuned and watching us. Thank you to Ensign Global University.
Okay.
Yes, for partnering with Marigo so that we can bring health to the community. And to all the colleagues and workers at Ensign, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, Madam Mary.
Okay, I
Any
think
greetings
Louisa
to
has
your
said
friends,
it all.
those watching you?
So to the viewers most especially, yes, we are grateful that they take time to listen and get educated. Yes.
Okay. That is all.
Yes.
You have anyone to greet again? You don't have anyone to greet again?
I think Louisa has said it all.
Okay, I hear. Okay, so viewers, we are done. Very big thanks to Madam Marian Osei and then Madam Louisa. They have a very big name. I like their names. I'll make sure I'll give them from them. At least I'll just give them these names. I just like them. My name is Sylvester Tete, and then hopefully next week by this time we'll meet again. We'll bring you a very nice topic. Very soon we'll be giving out numbers so that in case you have any other issue, you can talk to them and then we'll be able to solve those problems for you. Because very soon they'll be sitting here and they'll be answering questions concerning whatever you have, whether it's about pregnancy, about fertility, it's about virus, it's about so and very soon they'll be sitting in this hot seat and then they'll be answering questions, and that is all. A very big thanks to the team, Moses, Yima, Percy and Co. Very big thanks to you. My name is Sylvester Tete. Once again, next week by this time we'll meet. Thanks for watching.